YouTube, what is up, guys? How we doing? I hope you all are well. Jordan back with another video today. Today's video, as you see by the title below, I'm gonna take you guys into like an inside look of what my fitness journey has been like since I first started working out, and then any of you who have started your fitness journey, a long time ago, or for anyone that is just starting out, maybe you can take some things from this and add to your journey as well to help get you the results that you're looking for. So further ado, let's jump right into it. Right, I'm gonna try and keep this video a little bit short, but basically, fast or rewind back when I was in high school, my freshman year, so 2014, almost 10 years ago now, which is kind of crazy. Or we'll go back into middle school. Middle school, like I always was active, going outside and stuff. This isn't really fitness, but leading up to fitness, right? So I was always like an active kid and everything. I was a chubby kid though, like back in middle school and like elementary school and even, first couple years of high school. But middle school is like when I first became like an athlete, right? I played basketball in middle school. I also played in like rec leagues in my town and everything throughout the summer and stuff. That was the only like work or exercise that I did back then, right? So fast forward through middle school, got out of middle school, right? Went to high school, first year, 2014, um, is when I really started like actually working out here and there, like towards the end of my freshman year, not the start of it. I just saw like being in high school, right? The whole stigma around high school of being like a popular kid or anything like that. Not that that's what it was about, but I always just saw like the seniors that when I was a freshman that looked in good shape, that were playing basketball and everything, or all these just other guys that I would see, in the state that I live when I would go, to college games or something, or other high school games, people that were in shape. And then I would compare myself to them and be like, man, this is what I look like, right? And for a while, I was like content with looking how I did, and I would just brush it off like, oh, I play basketball, right? I'm active, but really I wasn't happy with like my own body, right? Like I wouldn't want to take my shirt off at a pool or at a beach or anything back then, for sure. Would not want to do that. And like in gym class, when we would go and change to get into our gym clothes, I was always nervous of taking my shirt off in front of everyone else. Not that really everyone was even paying attention. I just thought that everyone was paying attention. So end of freshman year, right? Going into that summer, I started working out. I wouldn't say I went crazy with it or anything, but I did start like lifting weights. Back then I was still only like 14 years old when I was in freshman year. So, I wasn't old per se, or anything like in my, high teens or whatever. But, when I first kind of started like learning about weights and like lifting here and there, like I said, it wasn't a serious thing, but I just started getting into the flow of it. So, lean into my sophomore year, that's actually when I started like really starting to lift. So, learning like way more about it sophomore year, starting to get into it, and I started like working out in my garage at home. I had like a set of dumbbells that went up to 50 pounds. I had a bench in there, and then I used bands that like I nailed into the garage wall because it was like sheetrock or something like that that you can nail into. So I put a nail, like a heavy duty nail, and I would wrap the band around it, or with a hook actually, and then wrap the band around so I could do like lat pull downs with the bands and stuff. So that was my sophomore year of it, I would say. I really starting to work out, on a consistent basis in my garage after school and stuff. So throughout my sophomore year, junior year, same kind of thing. I actually started going to like the high school gym that we had after school. So, that's when I started getting into it. And then senior year, though, I really started to like get a set schedule of lifting. I went to a gym, like a gym outside of school and outside my house. I paid for a membership, right? I started watching all these YouTube videos on how to change your body and everything. And the one thing that I was not doing correctly, I was lifting, right? I was going consistently, I was lifting, but I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't like progressive overloading, right? I wasn't, and I'll put like a little info on what that is, but I wasn't progressive overloading. I wasn't, really like taking the time to focus on my form and everything all these years back then, leading up to my senior year when I started going to gyms. So I wasn't seeing much change. All right. I saw a little bit of change because there were times when, I would have like a really solid workout day and I would, do some research or plan a workout before I went to the gym. But most of the time I was just going there and winning it. Like I didn't have an actual split of what I was doing. So that was kind of like my senior year. I put on just a little bit of muscle, didn't really get much fat off then. So still I was, conscious about my, body and how I looked and stuff and didn't want to take my shirt off and all that. Still lean up. So basically all throughout high school. But as you go through high school, you gain like a little more confidence and people change and everything, obviously. So in other ways, I felt more confident. But when it came to my physical look of my body, I still wasn't. So the big change happened when I graduated high school. All right. Like a lot of things started to change. I really started to like work on a lot of things. Basically, when I got out of high school, I graduated. I remember that summer is like I really hunkered down and started working out hard. I really started like training on my basketball game for just no, not that I was going anywhere with it, but I just started working out. I actually found a trainer that I started working with. So I worked with him a lot. All that cardio I was doing, and then all the times we would lift before, going to, train basically for basketball, that's when I really saw a change in my body. So first year of high school, graduate, got out. I met him, or I found him at my gym basically. Built a training relationship with him, started working my game, and started lifting a lot more efficiently basically, and knowing what I wanted to accomplish and the right ways to go about lifting. So first year of being out of high school is when I saw better results than I did in the past. And that's kind of how I continued for like the next year and a half. And then actually what ended up happening was the following summer, so a year later, so I'd be 2 years out of high school now. A year later, I was in a men's league game in New York, and when I, during the game, and this, I was in really good shape before this too. I wasn't like buff or anything or huge. I was just in good shape conditioning wise. I was stronger than I used to be. I had good explosiveness. I could dunk a ball then. So that night, my men's league game, it was like in August, early August that night. We were playing. I went up to the basket, and when I planted to go up with my right leg, my knee went inwards, and I tore my ACL. Like I completely shredded. It was like a complete tear. It was bad. I remember laying on the ground, and I was like, I couldn't even move like my lower body. I could feel my arms and stuff, but I couldn't even feel like my lower body. My whole body was like just in shock, is what I think, or something. I didn't really know what happened. I just remember not like feeling my right side or something, where I tore my ACL. And so obviously that's a pretty big injury. That stopped everything, right? I had a bunch of complications that happened from that as well. Like I got blood clots in my leg and everything. So that's, another story, but that happened as well. So that set back like surgery a while. And then just recovery time from, an ACL injury, right? It's a serious injury. So that whole time I wasn't working out or, doing anything that has to do with fitness basically because I was physically unable, right? So that happened in August, and then my surgery was delayed till like November just because of the blood clot that I had in my leg and scheduling issues with the hospital as well. So for a good time I was out of fitness and everything. But once I had the surgery, right, and then, it's about like a week or 2 weeks or so, like 3 weeks removed from surgery is when you start physical therapy. And that's not even doing anything. That's really just like slowly getting your motion back and like some therapy on your knee, massage wise. So I started doing that. And then you progress in therapy, obviously. So I started doing exercises once I got the motion back, trying to build that strength back in my leg. And it was crazy because my left quad was so much bigger than my right quad. I lost everything in my right quad, but obviously, right, because it got injured and it was unused for a while. So that was 2021, right? And then fast forward to 2022, okay? I get back like pretty much to almost full, like, recovery. Even still to this day, there's slight things that I notice and like feel in my knee that doesn't hurt. It's just different, right? So, having surgery and having like screws in your knee now, it's a little different, as you can imagine. But get through all that, right? 2022, really good year for me, fitness wise. You'll see some pictures up here of how just like my transformation in a way went into play. So 2022, I got back into the gym once I was fully recovered, or even before I was fully recovered. But once I was really recovered and just built up my strength, I was able to get back to what I was doing. And by then, I had so much more knowledge of what I needed to do because I spent a lot of time on YouTube as well, figuring out how to, build a better body for myself and the things that I needed to do. So I was more knowledgeable in that aspect. My workouts were better. The things I were doing, just eating wise, the food I was eating, tracking my calories and everything, that was better as well. So I saw like a real transformation because I've always been like skinny fat. So I saw, a slow transformation. I was getting a little leaner while putting on a little more muscle. It wasn't anything crazy or drastic because the thing that I have always struggled with is progressive overload and like, really, like lifting heavier or, doing higher reps and stuff like that with, like little bit lighter weight like I've talked about in previous videos. But 2022, I started to get back into the gym, getting better, getting rehabbed and everything, fully recovered. And then I flew out to California as well, multiple times last year and trained with Jordan Lawley on, you guys can look him up on YouTube, but he's my favorite trainer. Fast forward to now, I wouldn't say like I'm, buff or anything. I'm still trying to work off some, skinny fat from years ago. It's just been with injuries and stuff that I've had. I also didn't mention I had a back surgery in 2021 also. So that kind of sucked too because I had like a herniated disc in my back. So a few injuries that like interrupted my full consistent process that took time to recover from, that interrupted my process of working out. But nonetheless, for a good while now, I've been back into it. I'm definitely seeing more muscle, like more mass in my body come on now, over the last, like 8-9 months now, since I've really been honed in and focused and healthy just in general on what I'm trying to do. Like healthy in my body, no injuries or anything. And also, like I've mentioned before, I am moving to California, so I'm actually going to be on like a consistent schedule with Jordan Lawley as well. So that's just going to add to like my cardio work for that. And then, my lifting program that I'll have doing that as well, plus my own time on my gym and stuff. So kind of a, breakdown of what when I first started working out. Probably could have been a little more organized, but this video is just kind of on a whim. Just kind of wanted to take you guys through what it looks like. This probably isn't that short of a video once again, but I hope you guys were able to take something from this, right? For any of you starting out your fitness journey, I would just say be consistent with it, right? Find what works for you. You know, you got to track your calories if you're, you know, really trying to lose weight. You got to be in a caloric deficit. That's the only way to lose weight, right? And eating enough protein too, so when you're in that deficit, you're not like, your body's not pulling from your muscle to get the calories that it's looking for, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're able to take something from this. I got more videos coming for you guys. I've actually been planning some that I think will be pretty cool. Go check out some of my shorts. You know, I got good workout stuff in there, workout exercises for you guys to check out and do. So if you did enjoy the video, drop a subscribe, hit the like button, helps me out a lot. You guys get to join the community. My email is also in the description below. So in case any of you guys have questions on anything, or, you know, tips on workouts, etc., you want to reach out to me, go ahead, shoot me an email. I'll see it and I'll respond back to you. So once again, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.